Hey everybody, Strength Coach Sean here. Welcome to the third video follow-along workout with minimal equipment. You're gonna get some tremendous results because the idea of this workout is to continue moving for about 30 minutes. Even when you're resting, it's gonna be more active recovery, and I'm gonna give you specific sequences to do in order to continue moving, keep the heart rate elevated, but also benefit from a mobility perspective, okay? Starting with our warm-up right now.
And standing nice and tall, starting with the head and neck, looking back and forth. This is your postural assessment before you start your training. Looking back and forth, never skip this part of the warm-up, folks. It's very important. That's why I'm doing it with you. Now, chin to chest, look straight up. Stretching out the head and neck. Standing nice and tall. Excellent work into the ears and shoulders. This one is always the tightest for me. I don't know why. And I knew you were wondering that, so that's why I told you. Excellent. Big circles working our way down. Shoulders up towards the ears, then down towards the hips in a circular motion as shown. Working our way down the body. And go ahead and switch directions. Same thing. Big circles. Starting with the right arm. Arm stays straight, big circles backwards. Try to have the bicep brush up against the ear, big circles, standing nice and tall. Go ahead and switch directions. Excellent. And same thing for the other side. Backwards circles. Bicep comes up close against the ear. Switch directions, same thing. Big circles. Arms out to the side, big torso twist. Feel free to pivot on the feet, just like I am. I prefer this style of torso twist as it's a little more dynamic, a little more full body. It still opens up the chest quite well. Excellent. Hands on the hips, big hula hoop, drawing big circles with the hips and pelvis. Really thoroughly warming up here. This is excellent. And go ahead and switch directions. Same thing. Feet together, a little toe touch, and reach for the ceiling. Really relax with this. Use whatever range of motion your body will allow. Reaching down, standing nice and tall. Reaching down, standing nice and tall. Wrist circles. Super important for your elbow health, your hand health. Been doing these in martial arts a lot. This is excellent. Great work. Now, if you have the space, feel free to march, or you can stationary march like I'm showing right here. Opposite, opposite, chest high, tall stance. Great work. Little adductor stretch. Wide stance, hips go back, shoot the hips back like a hinge, reach for the ground. Stretching out those inner thighs. Nice. And whatever you can do, the back pedal or simply walk backwards like I'm doing this time. Be careful of your space. Don't bump into anything. Just a little bit of backwards walking. Good job.
So following our joint mobility, we're going to get into a core activation sequence. We're going to do 2 full sets of various planks and bridges to activate the core muscles and prepare the midsection for what's to come ahead. Okay, starting 3, 2, 1, now.
Starting in a push-up position. You're going to rock back and forth as shown, initiating the movement from the ankles. This will also stretch out the wrists. Keep your core tight. Don't allow any back sag to happen. Rocking back and forth, keeping the core engaged. And into the dead bug setup. So have the feet over the knees, your arms out, and a slight tilt of the wrist. So the thumbs are facing the shoulders. And we're going to try to rock side to side, engaging that core, just waking up the midsection before our training. It's a lot harder than it looks. Excellent. Back up to push-up position. We're going to do mountain climbers. And then out to the side. Out to the side. Good. Knee up. Knee up. Leg out to the side. Out to the side. Keep that going. You can bend the knee or keep the leg straight when you're going out to the side. It's up to you. Just warming up the core, and we're doing 2 rounds of this. Flat on your back, into the glute bridge to wake up those glute muscles. Drive with the heels, raise the hips up, stay tight. Up and down for 30 seconds. Great job. Into round 2, back to push-up position. Rocking back and forth, or try the single arm plank and alternate. If you're more advanced, give this one a shot. Alternating single arm plank. Feel the transition in your core muscles, side to side. Excellent. Back to that dead bug setup. Engage the core. Legs and arms are basically straight. And we're going to rock side to side. Stay tight. Stay engaged. If you do lose control, just get your elbow out so you can come back to neutral. Good work. Back to mountain climbers. Knee comes up, leg out to the side, out to the side. Good. Warming up that core. Last round like this. Feel that core musculature getting activated here. Probably feeling the muscles burn a little bit right now. I know I am. Into the bridge for the last time, and then we will move on to the 3rd phase of the warm-up. Drive with the heels, raise the hips up. Pushing the floor away with the heels. Great work.
Okay, so now that our core is warmed up, it's time to use it in the best possible way. Remember, part of the goal here is to keep you healthy, strong, and functional. So we're gonna do 2 minutes of crawling I'm going to start with a very basic variation, then we're going to gradually get into some harder progressions, but stick with whatever variation you have the most control over. And of course you can take short breaks if you need to, but it is only 2 minutes, so let's try to keep this going, and this will most certainly warm you up really well. Starting in 3, 2, 1, now.
Listen to my cues. So we're going to start in a down dog position or A-frame. We're going to alternate walking the dog by driving the heels down towards the ground. And when you're ready, start advancing forward with the hips high in the air like that. Excellent. Use whatever space you have available. We're going forwards and then backwards. So it might be 5 feet, it might be 6 feet or 10 feet, whatever you have. And we're going to slowly start bending the knees a little bit more, getting a bit closer to the ground. Hips are still up. Forwards and backwards. And then we're going to finally get even closer to the ground if you can, like we're balancing something on our back, and continuing the bear crawl forwards and backwards. Keep your core tight. We are practicing our gait pattern after activating our core. This is the best way to train the body. Keep going forwards and backwards. Excellent work. We're almost there. Keep going. And for those of you who can, try the Spider-Man crawl. You'll be thoroughly warmed up. This is basically the workout as well right now. The Spider-Man crawl, the knees come out to the side of the elbows as shown. And you're a little bit closer to the ground. This will warm up the body very thoroughly. And practice good hip and shoulder mechanics as well. Almost there, almost done this phase of the warm-up.
Okay, everybody, we're going to start with drill 1 today. 30 seconds per exercise. We're going to start with some single leg balance work, and I will cue you when to switch. Essentially, I want you to hinge back using one leg, reach for the floor, and then stand up nice and tall and drive up the opposite knee. If you can't do that, hold the balance position with your knee up, okay? Not a problem at all. Following that, we're going to get into push-ups for 30 seconds. Keep your core tight, okay? And I'll cue you for different variations if you need it. After that, we're going to get back up on our feet and do side-to-side hops for 30 seconds. It's going to keep your heart rate through the roof. Then you will need a little bit of space on the wall because we're going to face the wall and do some leg extensions, almost like a side kick. 30 seconds per side. Finally, we're going to wash it all down with wall push-ups. Now, wall push-ups are pretty easy, especially for all of you, but at this stage in the game, your heart rate's going to be up, you'll be a little fatigued, and this is the perfect opportunity to keep your core tight and do your push-ups perfectly. Okay, we're doing 3 rounds like this, starting in 3, 2, 1, now.
30 seconds on the clock. Single leg balance. We're going to hinge back, reach for the floor. A great variation to train the glutes. This is basically like a single leg deadlift, but with no weight. Excellent work. Use whatever range of motion your body will allow. Try to hinge back at the hips, reach for the ground, and come on up. And if you can't, just hold the position as shown. That's okay too. Do the best you can here. Switch sides. And start. Hinging back, reaching for the ground, standing tall. Root that foot to the ground. Stay in control, at whatever pace you're comfortable with. Keep your core tight. At any point, you can just hold your knee up and practice your balance if you need to. Good job. Push-ups. As many as you got. Core stays tight. Inhale on the way down, exhale as you drive your palms through the floor. If you need to, you can do these from your knees, as shown. Whatever works for you, whatever variation you can do good repetitions with. The quality has to be good. Anything worth doing has to be proper movement here. Almost there. Good job. Side to side hops. Go. I feel like I should be wearing spandex and maybe a headband or something. Keep going. Focus. Great work. Moving to the wall. Supporting yourself. Driving the one knee up and then kicking back. Keep that going. Focus on stretching out the hips and extending that hip, getting the glute activation. A little bit different when the heart rate's up. Relatively easy exercise, but quite challenging at this point in the game. Good job. Fantastic. Switch sides. Go ahead and start. Knee up and then extend the hip. Extend the hip. I like to look where my foot is going. Really reach with the hip. Feel it in the glute. A little bit of balance, but that wall's there for you as well. Good job. Nice. Now get up on the balls of your feet. Position yourself on an angle. Core stays rock solid. Wall push-ups. Go down, take about 3 seconds, then drive hard as you come up. Your body stays rigid. Inhale on the way down, exhale on the way up. The forehead makes just barely any contact with the wall, staying tight. Excellent. Now, for active recovery, position yourself as shown, get into a squat stance, hands stay flat, knees are apart, feet are together. We're simply going to rock forward. I prefer to have my hands elevated, so if you have yoga blocks, feel free to elevate the hands. It's usually a little bit better. Don't lose the arch in your back. Keep your chest high and look forward. We're rocking back and forth. This is soothing and very therapeutic for the hips. Keep that going. This is what it looks like from the front. Keep rocking. Chest high, sinking into the hips, stretching out the wrists at the same time, letting the heart rate come down. Keep going. Now we're standing up, reaching and twisting. Down, up on the knees, reaching out, up overhead, little twist, little twist. Good. Back to round 2. Single leg balance. Hinge back, reach for the floor, then stand up tall. This round you'll probably be more comfortable with the pattern. That's it. Root that foot to the ground, stand tall. Single leg strength and stability is very, very important, and it's one of those things that we don't need any external weight or any other fancy equipment to do. As always, hold the position if you need to, if it's too challenging for you. That is not a problem. Go ahead and switch sides. Getting more comfortable with the movement this time, reaching back, hinging back, touch the floor, come up nice and tall. Reaching back, touch the floor, stand tall. into your push-ups. Core stays tight. 30 seconds of push-ups. If you're feeling fatigued, use a bench, use your knees, or you can even use the wall if you have to. If you really absolutely have to, you can hold a plank the whole time, but try to keep moving. Excellent. You're doing great. Up on your feet, side to side hops. Here we go. This is great for your agility, your coordination, and keeping that heart rate up. Looking good. Keep going. Over to the wall. Knee comes up, kick back. Excellent. Probably feeling a little more comfortable with this movement as well. Keep that going. Knee comes up, kick back. Look where your foot's going. Knee comes up, kick back. Look where your foot is going. Same thing for the other side. Knee comes up, kick back. Excellent work. Into the wall push-up. Take a step back, core stays tight. Hands are flat, you're coming down about 3 seconds. Forehead just taps the wall, and then come right back up. Everything lowers and raises at the same time. Keep them perfect. Absolutely perfect. Into our active recovery. Knees apart, feet flat, rocking back and forth. This is essentially our squat pattern. So every time you do this, your nervous system is getting accustomed to the pattern. Sinking into the hips, stretching out the inner thigh. Chest stays high. Again, this is how it looks like from the side and now the front. It's not a child's pose. It's similar to a child's pose, but it's kind of reverse. Chest stays up, sinking into the hips. Good stuff. Zip up the stance, sitting on your butt here, reaching up, out to the side, little bit of a twist, Sit back down, come up on the knees, hands are out, up, out to the side, out to the side. Round number 3. Single leg balance, reaching back, standing up tall. Nice. Last round like this. We're hinging back, reaching for the floor, keeping our core tight. Switch sides. Practice rooting that foot to the floor, hinging back, reaching for the ground, and standing up tall. Hold that position if you need to. Excellent work. Almost done. Into the push-ups. Core stays tight is the last round, whatever version you need to do. You can limit the range of motion. You can go to the knees, go to the wall, go to a bench, whatever. Keep going. There's the knee example if you need to. Stay tight. Looking great. Almost done. Side to side hops. Go for it. Almost done. Great work. Over to the wall. A little bit more balance work here. The knee comes up and kick back. Try to use the wall less and less if you can. Look where your toe is going and extend that hip. Doing great, almost done. Go ahead and switch sides. Here we go. Last one. Knee comes up. Kick back. Look where your toe is going. Extend the hip. Think about the glutes as you're reaching back. Try to rely on the wall a little less if you can. Looking good, keep moving. Into the wall push-up for the last time. Core stays tight, up on the tippy toes, hands are flat, lower as one, come up as one. Excellent. Practice perfect form. This will be a thorough upper body workout. Excellent. Into our active recovery. Rocking back and forth. This is tremendous for the hips. Focus on some deep breathing, looking forward, relaxing with this. Again, this is from the front, sinking back, relaxing. And when you're ready, sitting back on your butt, extending the hips, a little bit of a twist, a little bit of a twist. Sit back down, extend the hips, reach out, little twist, and little twist. Good.
How'd you like that? Okay, now we're gonna finish with 3 rounds of drill number 2. Tuck jumps or jump squats. I'm gonna give you a couple different options for this. Into the crow for 30-second hold. Pick the appropriate variation for this. If you need to keep your toes on the ground, do so. If you can get up, balancing on your hands, great. If not, don't worry about it. It's challenging enough, okay? Finally, into those static lunge holds that we did on Thursday. Those are a biatch, okay? So 3 rounds of this with some active recovery in between. Be careful with the appropriate variations, okay? We're training, we're building the body up. We are not breaking it down. Here we go, starting in 3, 2, 1, go.
30 seconds on the clock. Tuck jumps. Think of these as one at a time. I'm showing the most intense variation right here. Land soft. And I'll show you a few other options in a bit. You can do these frog hops, which are squatting, reaching for the ground, and coming up off the ground. Whichever option works for you. I'm going to go back to the tuck jumps. Land soft. You can see I'm doing these one at a time. Good job. Into the crow. If you need to, hold your toes on the ground like so. Feet are just on the ground here. Shifting your weight forward. If you can, hold the crow like so. For an added challenge, for those who are ready, practice your kickouts. Crow to kick out. Crow to kick out. Or just hold the crow. Great work. Finishing with this static lunge isolation hold. My knee is just barely off the ground. All that leg work, really feeling the burn in the quads. You could also limit the range as shown. I like having my hands up in the air for that added challenge. Great work. Go ahead and switch sides. Same thing. Getting into the lunge, chest stays high, core is tight. You can either have your hands on your hips or hands up towards the sky, like so. Limit the range if you need to. Try to hold that deeper lunge if you can. Very, very challenging. Keep breathing. Own your position. Into some active recovery. Rocking back and forth. At this point, you can do whatever you want. If you want to just shake out your tension, that's totally cool. You can stand, shake out the tension, relax, do some hip circles, or follow along specifically with this rocking pattern. This is how it looks from the front, sinking into the hips, a little bit of a wrist stretch, each and every repetition as well. Sitting on our butt, extending the hip, reaching up, and a little bit of a twist. Every time we do this, we're training our body. We're moving with greater efficiency. This is why it's so important to stay moving. Round 2, tuck jumps. If you're going to do these, land as quietly and as softly as possible. Option number 2 are these frog hops. Wider stance, touching the ground and exploding up. Whichever one works for you. Land soft. I'm doing these one at a time. Good job. Into the crow. Option 1, keeping the toes on the ground. Shifting your weight forward, keeping your core tight and your armpits tight. Option 2 is holding that crow. Option number 3 is practicing the kickouts. Excellent. Stay tight, grip the ground hard with your hands. You could always return to the crow. Great job. Finishing with this static lunge, holding right there. Core is tight, arms are up over the head. Limit that range of motion if you have to. You can also take short breaks by coming up and then returning down. Great work. Go ahead and switch sides. Tall posture, core tight, arms up towards the sky, holding that position. Limit the range if you have to, and then return down. Keep breathing. Fantastic. Great work. Into some active recovery. Again, do whatever makes the most sense for you. Rocking is a great option, but feel free to just walk it out, shake out the tension, and relax. You are practicing your squat every time you do a good repetition like this. So remember, knees are apart, chest is high. Don't lose the arch in your lower back. Keep it going. Continue rocking back and forth, breathing, relaxing. And when you can, sit on your hips, extend, reach up, and a little torso twist each side. One more time. Up. And twist. Great job. Round 3 with the tuck jumps. Last round like this. Land as softly as you can. I'm doing these one at a time. You can do whatever variation makes the most sense. Frog hops. Great option. Absorbing that shock. Anything works. Tuck jump. Good job. Into the crow last time. Grip the ground hard, shift your weight forward. Knees are on the outside of the elbows. Hold it right there if you need to. If you can, get up. Balance yourself. The more you practice this, the better you'll get at it. Same goes with the kickbacks. Great option. Good energy transfer, good core awareness. Grip the ground hard. Go for it. Crow. Fantastic. Last set. That lunge hold. Core is tight. Legs are burning right now. Get those arms up overhead if you can, or hands stay on the hips. Limit the range if you can, or if you need to. Return. You're doing fantastic. Nice. Go ahead and switch sides, same thing. Front foot stays nice and flat. Get into your lunge. Sink down low, chest high, core tight. Reach up to the sky. Limit that range of motion if you have to, as shown. Come back down if you can. Stay tight. Great work. All right, I hope you enjoyed that. You should be thoroughly worked, but as always, if you want to do a bit more, you can repeat another drill, do a little bit more work, or do the whole video again if you're really feeling ambitious. If you like these, please do me a favor, post about it, share it. If you know of anybody who can benefit from this, I'm giving you permission to forward them one of my workouts, okay? Forward it to them, tell them how to contact me because they can be an online member, okay? All the best, guys. Strength Coach Sean here telling you to be strong, confident, and capable, but as always, kind, compassionate, and happy. We'll talk to you soon.